my dear students, welcome to computer science class. So in our previous video we had completed with the generations of computers, so wherein we had discussed about 5 generations of computer. So the first generation had come into existence in the year of 1940 to 1956. During this period time, the first generation's computers had come into existence, and they were using the vacuum tubes, isn't it? The important electronic component that was being used for the first generation computer is vacuum tubes. What are the examples of the first generation computer is ENIAC. ENIAC stands for Electrical Numerical Integrator and Computer, and then EDVAC also had come into existence, that is stands for Electronic Discrete Variable Automatic Computer. And the third computer that had come into existence, which was the first ever commercial computer, that is UNIVAC, which stands for Universal Automatic Computer. So these three were the examples for the first generation computer, so which had come into existence in the year between 1940 to 1956. Okay. So moving on to again the second generation had come into existence during the 1956 to 1963, wherein it was using the transistor. So the important electronic device the second generation it was using is transistors. So because of usage of this transistors, the size of the computer systems was dramatically reduced. They were much smaller, cheaper, more reliable than the first generation computers. And in this generation itself, the high level language like COBOL and Fortran had come into existence. And when does the third generation had come into existence was in the year between 1964 to 1971, wherein it was using the IC, that is integrated circuit. A person known as the Jack Kilby, an engineer, okay, he actually developed this ICs, which dramatically decreased the size but increased the speed and the efficiency of the computer, and where they were much more reliable comparatively to the second generation computers. And then in this third generation only we had something that is mini computers had come into existence, where we started using the keyboards for the input purpose and the monitors for the output purpose. Okay, then in the fourth generation computer had come into existence, that is right now present, that is it had started from the year 1971, and we are using the microprocessor. So the first ever microprocessor was being developed by the Ted Hoff, okay, called as Intel 4004, okay. And during this time only, the IBM also introduced the first personal computer, that is in the year 1981. And these were actually the fourth generation computer had led into the development of the internet, because the computers were able to communicate with each other. They were able to transfer the data from one place to the another place, and they formed the computer network, which later led into the development of the internet. Okay, then the last generation, that is the fifth generation, might be partially present and completely in the beyond the future. That is we will be using the artificial intelligence, wherein only the voice and the touch can be the primary means of the input there, wherein we may make the computer system to learn, to think, okay, and to compute the task by itself, okay. And there were certain features like the development of storage technology. We may start developing more number of supercomputers. Supercomputers are the one which are the most fastest computers in the world, and they are more expensive, wherein the storage capacity also will be high. Their processing speed will be very high, so trillions of instructions they can be executed just in 1 second. So parallel processing system may come into existence, and then development of robotics. So all these concepts may come in the future. So till this we had discussed in the previous video. So let us move on to the next topic, that is the classification of computers. So mainly our computers are being classified into three types, that is the analog computer, digital computer and the hybrid computer. So let us see what exactly this analog computers are. So the analog computers actually where the computations are usually they'll be carried out with the physical quantities such as like voltage, length, current, temperature. So the computers, they will carry the computations based upon the voltage, temperature, current, length. So the devices those will monitor such physical quantities can usually be referred to as an analog computer. You can see here, this is an analog computer which is actually measuring the in voltage it is measuring. Okay, then I can show you. See here, this is a voltmeter. So this is an analog computer system which is measuring the physical quantities such as voltage. This is the speedometer which is measuring the speed, which is measuring the physical quantity such as speed. So this is a thermometer which is measuring the physical quantity such as what? The temperature. So the devices that are monitoring such physical quantities, I can refer them as the analog computers. So usually the examples for the analog computers would be voltmeter, speedometer and the thermometer. You can see. Now analog signals will be they will be having that is minimum value and the maximum value. They will be working upon the minimum value and the maximum value where the signal will be continuously changing. So these kinds of signal we usually refer it to as an analog signals. They work on the continuous range of values with the minimum value and the maximum value, wherein they can be attained, the value can be, they can attain any value which might be dependent on the previous value. So usually whatever the results we are generating from the analog computers would be approximate, because they will be dealing with the physical quantities that may vary continuously, like the temperature, voltage, length. So they will be continuously, they may vary. So therefore, the whatever the results are being generated through these analog computers would be approximate. And these analog computer usually they operate by measuring rather than counting. Okay, they usually measure what is the voltage, what is the temperature. So they usually operate by measuring rather than the counting. And here all the calculation takes place in parallel, and hence they are faster. Parallel processing in the sense what? Simultaneously they can process your data. So multiple operations can be performed, okay, at a single point of time. So that is what is this parallel processing. And because if the computer is able to perform more tasks in a single given particular time, means obviously the speed of the computers will be fast. So here in analog computer, calculations will be takes place in parallel. And then this analog information is mechanical, and hence it has a limited accuracy. Mechanical mean the sense they are machine dependent. Okay, your voltmeter. So this is a device which is measuring your voltage. So if this physical quantity is completely dependent upon this machine. Okay, if the machine is working fine, then you will get an appropriate accuracy. You will be getting the exact accuracy. If the machine is not proper, then you may get the approximate results. So that's why it has since these are the information is mechanical, it has a limited accuracy. And then electronical analog computers, where we can find these, they will be in the chemical plants for monitoring the temperature, pressure, voltage. Okay, you can find these such kinds of computers in scientific and industrial applications, where nuclear power plants will be there. Okay, industrial chemical process and all, where industrial process plant in the sense where manufacturing will be manufacturing, or if you need to maintain in ice factory and all, food factories where you need to particularly maintain certain temperature. So in those kinds of industries or the chemical plants wherein you need to maintain certain pressure, voltage and a temperature, there we are using such kinds of analog computers. Students, I hope you are able to understand. So moving on to that is next type of computer, that is the digital computers. Okay, so here in digital computers, as whatever the present computers are nothing but the digital computers. So usually digital computers will be operating with the information or the numerical, where the data is usually represented in the form of digital. Okay, so here what happens is the computer would process the data into the digital value in the sense that is zeros and ones. I have already said, so bits means that is zeros and ones. Usually these digital computer uses the binary number system, where we have only two digits, that is zeros and ones. So your computer system digital computer system or analog, they cannot understand any high level language like English level or programming language. Whatever the data you enter to the computer system, the data will be converted in the form of zeros and ones, that is the binary digits, where each one is called as bit. 0 is called as a bit, whereas 1 also called as the bit. So all the data will be represented in the series of zeros and ones in the form of digital computers. So they usually convert the data into the binary. Whatever the English like 2 plus 5 into 3, if you are giving, this instruction will be converted into the binary digits in the form of zeros and ones, and all the operations, that is arithmetic operation or multiplication, all the whatever the operation it has to perform on that particular instruction will be carried out based upon the binary digits itself. Okay, so usually these digital computers are much faster than the analog computers, and they are far more accurate because your data is not dependent on the machine here, whereas in case of analog, the information was mechanical. Hence it has been limited accuracy. Okay, but here it is not so. Digital computers are much faster than the analog computers. And where you can see these digital computers, usually they are being used for the general purpose also, they are being used, and the specific purpose also. So like in terms of business or scientific applications, we are using these digital computers. Okay, then moving on to the next type of computer, that is the hybrid computer. So this hybrid computers, usually they have the features of both the analog computers as well as the digital computers. They utilize the best qualities of both the digital as well as the analog computers. So these hybrid computers, they have the speed of analog computers, but they have the accuracy of digital computers. That means what? They may be slow in processing, but they are giving you the accurate result. Like your digital watch, it is actually measuring your heartbeat, right? So heartbeat, whatever you are having, it is in terms of analog signals, but your heartbeat rate will be detected by your digital watch. And how the data it will be showing in onto your digital watch? In the form of numbers, right? Not in the form of analog signals. Analog signals in the sense I have shown you. This is analog signals, and this is the digital signal. Please look at, as I said about the digital computers, they use the digital signals in order to have the data, that is in the form of zeros and ones. See, these are nothing but the digital signals. So these hybrid computer system, they have the speed of analog computers, okay, but they have the accuracy of digital computers. Means whatever the results they are being generated after the counting of your heartbeat rate, whatever the result will be accurate. Okay, even the weighing machine also. So weighing machine, when you go and stand, actually it is in terms of measuring, right? Like 40 kg, 35 kg and all, it is a measuring. But whenever it is displaying the data, it is not measuring in terms of physical quantity, it is measuring in terms of digital numbers like 35 and all, isn't it? So such computers, we usually say it as a hybrid computers, wherein these hybrid computers have the capability to convert the analog to digital conversions and digital to the analog conversion. Okay, so these hybrid computers, okay, they are capable of accepting the inputs and output both in the form of digital plus as in the form of the analog signals. So they are having the capability to accept the data both in the form of analog as well as the digital, and these are mainly used for the specialized task. Okay, so specialized task may be in terms of measuring your weight. Weighing machine will measure your weight. Apart from that, it doesn't do any other work, right? Its purpose is to measure the weight of the person or weight of the any particular thing that you keep on this weighing machine. So it is performing only one particular task. That is why we say that they are mainly used for the specialized task. Okay, and okay, then these hybrid computers, they are widely used in hospital, where analog part has been responsible for measuring the patient's heartbeat rate, okay, blood pressure and all, blood pressure, temperature and all. But wherein the measurements will be in the form of analog, which has to be converted into the, which will be converted in the form of numbers, and they will be supplied to the digital computers, wherein then the operations are being carried out in the digital fashion to monitor the patient's condition. See, if the person, they ECG usually they will measure in terms of heartbeat rate. So you may get in terms of heartbeat rate in the form, when you see that ECG report, that will be in the form of analog. But when you go to the doctor, they will present you with the data in the form of digital, where you can get to know what is what is the heartbeat rate. Okay, how much, what is the normal heartbeat rate right now, how much the patient's heartbeat rate. So the data will be converted. Usually when the hybrid computers, they will measure, the data will be in the form of in the form of analog signals it will measure, but the analog information will be transferred to the digital digital computers. This digital computer will convert that analog to digital form, and then it will display the patient's heartbeat rate in the form of digital numbers, that is in the number form. So these also computers are being used in the weather forecasting, they are being used, and mainly they are being used in the hospitals automated intensive care units, that is ICU they will be using. Now modern hybrid computers are usually used in the vehicle simulations. Okay, vehicle simulations like speedometer we are using, and then training of astronauts. Okay, robotics. Modern the hybrid computers are also used in the petrol pumps. Okay, electronic weighing machine they are been using, digital speedometers, digital watches. So all these are some of the applications where you can see the hybrid computers. Students, I hope you are able to understand. Mainly, basically, the computers are being divided into the three forms, that is the three different forms, that is the analog computers, digital computers and the hybrid computers. These analog computers examples we have, speedometers, we have thermometer, we have the voltmeter, and where in case of the digital computers we have examples for the digital computers like Apple, Macintosh, okay, Lenovo, Dell. So these are some of the brands of the digital computers we have. Okay, then in case of hybrid computers we have, they are being extensively being used in the hospitals. Okay, in the intensive care units. Modern hybrid computers examples like petrol pump, they are being used in the petrol pump, speedometer, electronic weighing machine. All these are the examples of the hybrid computers. See, the one question they may ask you, give the classifications of computer based upon the principles of operations or based upon the construction and working. If they ask you this question for 5 marks, you need to explain these 3 types. Okay, because further different types of computers are there based upon the usage, okay, based upon the size and performance. Again, different classification they'll be asking for. But when they mention, explain the classification of computer based upon the principles of operations or based upon the construction and working, you need to explain about all these 3 and give the suitable examples. I hope the concepts are clear to you. Thank you, students.